It's the So in One Sci-Fi podcast.
This is episode 208, and this is the correct number this week because I keep getting it wrong, of the Solo One Sci-Fi podcast. Happy New Year. I'm Michael Ball. I'm joined once again by the demigod of knowledge, Mr. Martin Fowler, up in sunny, well, dark, but sunny today, London. But I think it was sunny. And also, hello, Martin. Say hello.
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 And yawning at the same time as I'm introducing him, but it was okay because it was off screen. It is the semi-demigod, the other semi-demigod of London, in London, Malcolm Patterson. Hello, Malcolm.
Hello, how you doing?
All right, nice to talk to you both. How are you both doing this time of year when it's cold and dark and rainy and windy? But we're here to share our insights and interests in science fiction and media.
Yeah, I don't really do cold, so I'm a little miserable at the moment because the cold just doesn't really suit me.
Is it the anticlimax of Christmas as well, isn't it?
No, not really, because Christmas doesn't really interest me that much since the kids have grown up, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
but
well,
it's just cold. I don't do cold.
Yeah, mine are getting older as well, so it's kind of... Even so, I mean, it's... I wasn't working, so that's what always keeps me going. So over Christmas, there's a link to Christmas entertainment. We had two aspects from the Doctor Who universe, which was shared over Christmas. First of all, the colorized episode of the War Games. I have seen it. What did you both? Have you both seen it? What did you think about it?
No.
The regeneration? No. So
No.
I can't. Do you want
I've seen the regeneration at the end. It didn't interest me. And once everybody started babbing on about, oh, look, they've confirmed that the War Chief was the Master, I just fucking ignored it completely. It was the biggest. I imagine anybody who thinks that must just sit there with their one fucking brain cell bouncing around their skull like a fucking Windows screensaver. I don't understand the intelligence of thinking that.
Yeah, but in their defence, they kept putting on the Master's bloody theme tune every time he came
but that's
on
just
screen.
one idiot. That's just one idiot being an idiot. I mean, he was given the keys to a Porsche and drove it into a fucking brick wall. That's all that happened with this episode.
Mm.
You know, there's no confirmation at all. It's basically just a fucking shit fan film with a shit fucking idea and a shit ending. But
it's not. It's official now. It's official.
The
BBC, in their wisdom, have now deemed it as canon.
Yeah, bullshit. So all those bits they cut out didn't happen. I don't get how you can credit a weakling, cowardly, incompetent, snivelling, underling, useless fucking gob of fucking phlegm as being the sociopathic, fucking homicidal genius
hang on,
that is
stop,
the Master.
Stop.
I don't
no,
get how
no,
you think the two are the same.
I thought
not you, but people.
No. I thought you were talking about Russell T Davies at that point. That's why I was getting a bit confused.
As well, yeah. I mean, it fits him as well.
Martin, what did you think about it?
He's not the fucking Master. He's Harold Maker from Rent.
He's Rent-A-Ghost guy. I know. Yeah, I know.
Can you add the sound effect? Yes.
If I remember, I've got the sound effect on my phone somewhere. I could play it. I've got the one where they.
He's Harold fucking. Well, every time I watched him, right?
Yeah.
I was like, it's Harold Maker.
I know.
He's not the fucking Master, right?
I started trying to watch Rent-A-Ghost a couple of years back in the very beginning. And the early ones, when it's just the three of them, are so boring.
Let's see this comes up on the microphone. Hang on, listen, see if it comes up. Can you hear that? Did it come on?
No.
Oh, no. I hate this mic. It never picks up anything. I just did the Rent-A-Ghost ping. It doesn't matter.
No. What it was, the War Chief thought, you know, he's not the Master. There's several stories in Beta Canon where he left Gallifrey. He's the Master of War. He learned it, and that's his whole sort of thing. And he's not the Master. He's never been the Master.
So why are they trying to retcon and put this into canon, guys?
Idiocy, because they can't conceive. Their imaginations are not big enough to conceive of any kind of fucking universe where there's more than one villain. They'll be saying Davros is the fucking Master yet, and so's Omega. It's absolute fucking horseshit.
There's other Time Lords out there that the Doctor has met. He met the mechanic in the what is it? The thing to time. The
key to time.
Key to time. And when he got to Ribos with the servant of the Black Guardian, there was in from Howard's Way. He was the Time Lord.
Yeah.
He was like a mechanic. There's different Time Lords, and not just the Doctor and Master left. There were a few of them that scarpered because they were bored shitless.
But even
And
even
they've
like
all
fucking
cornered a certain skill set
even
in
when I said
certain
on
areas.
Facebook, how can you imagine they're the same person because he's just a coward? Somebody said, but they all have different personalities, and I said, yeah, but not
Oh,
fundamentally different. You can't turn a fucking sniveling, incompetent coward into a genius. That's not how regeneration works. And then one guy goes, oh, so the Doctor's never been confused and all this. And I said, well, post regeneration for about 10 minutes, he gets a little bit narky, and then this guy goes, well, we don't know how long this guy's been the war chief, do we? And I was like, well, long enough to have set up that whole fucking thing, to have ripped his fucking TARDIS apart and made it into all those SIDRAT fucking devices and captured all them people. We know he's been the war chief at least that long. It's just, I don't know. The whole entire fucking concept of them being the same makes my blood boil.
I
That people
did.
are that stupid. Anti-vaccine, flat Earth, moon landing, denying fucking gobshites, all of them.
I
I
did
don't
like
get
the
it.
Time Lords. I did like the Time Lords, the first appearance of them.
Yeah, yeah,
Quite
yeah.
like that. Because for me, War Games is, for me, a Troughton's best episodes.
yeah, but isn't it
So,
a bit overly padded though? Isn't it a bit
It's
overly?
yeah,
that or
it's a
Tomb of the
bit, I will
Cybermen.
say it's a bit too long. They could have done it in
No,
4 or 5 episodes, not
no,
12.
no. I think the number of episodes is right, but they needed to do more exploring of different time regions.
Yeah,
They did
yeah,
kind of
I
drag
agree
each little
with
bit
that.
out.
Yeah.
You know, there should have been a little bit more of them going to how many different time regions that
But
they'd actually brought together.
but what really got to me about it was the regenerations. Why didn't the show like Tom Baker and other Doctors? Why did we jump straight into modern day ones?
What do you mean? I'm
Well,
confused.
There's a very good reason for
you
that,
know
it's
when they offered
because they're
him,
trying to fucking force feed you the fact that everything they do and everything modern is the way it should be, and you
yeah,
must accept it, or
I
you're a
just
racist
found that
fucking misogynist.
I just found that one a bit ridiculous. Like when they
Yeah,
said choose the face, why didn't they do Tom Baker and Peter Davison? Like
The thing
just a
is,
couple ahead.
the aspect I found very annoying was that I always thought that a regeneration was partly random. So
yeah,
does
well,
that
yeah.
mean that this
Yeah,
is now predetermined, that we saw Capaldi, we saw Whitaker, we saw Matt Smith?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and they were even
Well,
wearing the outfits that they were going
as
to be
somebody
wearing in the
pointed out,
future.
how could Capaldi be there when the Doctor decided to become Capaldi's face after he met the guy in
The
Fires of Pompeii?
Okay, yeah,
the
yeah.
Pompeii one. I just thought it was kind of. I mean, what about if they'd have done it so that maybe it resembled, like maybe like an AI face where it resembled a little bit like a future incarnation, but it wasn't just a photo pic from a season
Yeah,
5 Matt
yeah.
Smith with us. They even saw one with David Tennant holding his Sonic. It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
oh, come on.
my
I,
take on the faces, on it being random or not, is if you're in a bad way and the TARDIS or whatever technology it is doing a last ditch effort to keep you alive, it's random. Whereas if there's nothing wrong with you and you just choose to go through the process, like the Time Lords are making him, and like Romana did later on, just
Yeah, yeah.
deciding to fucking renew your body and all that, I assume then you get to choose what you fucking like.
So, as this is technically colorized under the grand kind of authority of Mr. Russell T Davis, I take it you guys consider this a bit of a fail.
no,
Yes.
look. I like seeing it in color. That were
The
quite
color was
interesting.
good. The colorization was good. I
I
thought.
did like the scene when he started changing. I like the scene when he sort of became Pertwee and we got the beginning of Spearhead from space. I
Apparently,
like
that
that
scene with
Well,
him.
connection.
That's
that's a
some
fan
Inferno.
film.
Apparently, yeah, the
Um,
YouTuber did the actual the regeneration, and he tweaked it, and it's now become official. And I think it's
yeah.
nice. It's good for the YouTuber, but couldn't they have just done it themselves from
Yeah,
scratch? Why were they
that
getting a
too.
YouTuber to do that?
Yeah,
Doesn't that?
but I mean, in
It,
terms of the colorizing, it's quite good. But I mean, would you be happy if they colorized Laurel and Hardy and Harold Lloyd and Basil Rathbone's Sherlock Holmes movies? And would you be
I've
happy with
seen
them
the
actually,
colorizing all that?
colorized.
I think you
actually,
would just
I will
lose all the
say,
atmosphere.
I will say, I've seen a couple of episodes of the original Flash Gordon in color. and it is quite impressive. The sets.
I've
It's,
got It's a Wonderful Life in colour. That
yeah.
looks all right. That
I
looks
think
quite
I think
it's
that's
not.
arguably the first full-length movie that's been colorized, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
I think
know.
it's nice to see certain things in colour, like you're getting another look at it. And when I watched War Games, it felt new as well. It sort of
You
felt
like the
new.
way that the end credits were the John Pertwee credits, and it said introducing John Pertwee as the Doctor, like they do in more modern Doctor
Yeah.
Who. I didn't mind. Look, I didn't mind that, but there's another thing on Christmas Day which appeared on the
Oh,
end of
not
Doctor Who,
that. Not
and I've
that,
been dreading
please.
this, but I'm
No.
gonna have to, guys. Come on, we
Oh.
had COVID, we had the birth of Christ was because of this fat lady who turned into a star and all this sort of stuff.
Even though the birth of Christ, they're now making it 4 years after it actually was.
What a crock of shit
Yeah.
that was. What did
You
you
know?
both
He
think of it?
cried.
Huh?
I
He
didn't see him
cried.
crying yet. I saw somebody before I watched it. Somebody was on there going, "Oh, and he cries 4 or 5 times." I didn't see him cry once. I'm told he did, but I didn't see it.
No, he did cry. Yeah, he did.
I think I noticed him cry once, which is good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, but
What
yeah.
what part was that?
I think that
I
was
don't
wasn't that a bit
remember.
where the fat lady is about to turn into a star? I don't know.
I don't know.
It
I was
was
probably playing on my fucking phone at that point.
no, when she became a fucking star or whatever.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. That's what I just said. Exactly
Yeah.
what I just said. Yeah. And then you've got
I mean,
oh,
it's better than it's better than anything really that we got in the first series, apart from maybe the landmine episode.
that
I
was written
like
by the same guy,
I like
wasn't
the
it?
idea. I like the idea that he uses the time hospital to cheat the rules of time and keep going back. But then it never ever mentions how he got the code. He was just there a very long time, but
Yeah,
it never
yeah,
says how he
yeah.
got
He
it.
has the code, but it doesn't go through that year where you see him acquire the code.
Yeah,
I
but
think
it
you
doesn't
mean
say
the
how he
time
picked it up in the
hotel.
first place. So
Yeah.
somebody on Facebook theorized that what he did, what he actually did, was he just kept going back, going through the times one after another, repeating it over and over again until he hit on the right code. And that's
Oh,
that's
okay.
what he did. Every time he went through the door, he went through all the motions, then came back and hit a different code, which I quite like that idea because I thought it was rather stupid they didn't mention how he got the code.
Mm.
I did like the time hotel concepts. I thought that was interesting.
I liked him being in the
Yeah,
hotel for a
Yeah.
year. I liked the manager. I thought she
Yeah,
was a better character than the fat star lady. I just
who
thought she
people
was.
now are saying may well be that Mrs. Flood woman.
Oh God. Oh, maybe.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh yeah, what is she in the next series?
Yeah, I know she's back, and
I
Anita
forgot
Dobson.
about her.
Yeah, I couldn't give a shit if we never saw her again, basically. Yeah, I mean, it was a better Christmas special than last year. We didn't have singing gremlins or goblins or whatever it was, but I still don't like this guy. I still don't. I just don't think. I think that, and
No.
Malcolm's talked about this before, that you think that he's a good actor, but you just think he's just been poorly written in the character. That's what you
Yeah,
see.
but
Yeah, I think it's a
every-
combination of being poorly written and poorly told. This is how you're going to play the role,
everybody
and
died
that's
as
why it's
well.
got it. I mean,
Everybody
it depends
died.
how much of a role is the way an actor decides to do it, and how much of it is how they're being told to do it. And I assume it's somewhere in between because you audition, you get a piece of script, you audition, you play that piece of script how you think they want it played, and then you're chosen. So presumably he went out and auditioned in this like mad camp way, and they thought, "Fuck yes, that's the guy we want." So I don't know. It's probably a combination of
I
both
don't
of them,
like the
really.
mad camp way. I don't
You
want
know-
the
No,
doctor to be mad camp. Sorry.
no,
You
not
know
at all.
they should finish this now.
Oh,
Do you know-
how many times? We must have had 25 episodes last year saying, just finish it, just finish it, just finish it.
No, to give it some fucking dignity, right? That in the next series, right, we get to the end of it, right? We know it's been cancelled, right, for its own good, right? That he regenerated, and that's where it finishes. We don't know who the next he has the moment of
It's
regeneration, and it finishes. Remember that
it's
with Jodie Foster,
it's
where Jodie
probably
Baker when she stood
it's
on the cliff.
probably the BBC's second biggest money maker after EastEnders. I don't think this show's being cancelled. It's at least in the top 5 of their exports. There's
I'm
no
trying
way
to
they're
give it
cancelling
some
it.
dignity.
Thing
I'm
is, you
trying
see,
to give
it
it
is
some
it is
dignity.
still, it's all about money. And I mean, obviously, Disney has import a lot of money towards this. I don't know what the thing is. If Disney pulls out after season 2 or series 15, which it really is, or series 41, whatever it is, then the BBC will probably either seek another company to pay, maybe
Yeah,
co-fund, or just.
I reckon there are going to be companies out there lining up to pump the money in.
To be honest with you, I
and
just
be
wish
part
they
of it.
could get rid of Russell T Davies. Just get someone who's a bit more balanced, a bit more respectful of minorities and all sorts
I've
of things, but not into the level of just pushing the agenda in every scene of every episode of Doctor Who. I don't want that.
the last couple of days I've been watching a few fan films on YouTube.
Well, you mentioned,
Of
yeah, I've not
Doctor
seen
Who
those
stuff.
yet.
Yeah, I've
And
seen a few.
some of them are fucking stunning. Some of them are
Yeah.
just the acting in. There's one group of them. I forget what their bloody name is now. I'll text it to you later on. Their acting's a bit ropey, but what they do is phenomenal. Story wise, it's so much better than what we're getting. And it's
And
just
the
like put
sets
any of
they
these
build
guys
are
in charge,
incredible.
give them the money, give them the budget, give them proper actors, and they will give a show that
Yeah, but they
everybody
say that
loves.
for all the. I mean, there's obviously a lot of Star Trek fan films, and we are big fans of Star Trek Continues, aren't we, Martin?
Yes,
And some of the others, and they you compare those to the first seasons of Discovery with all the money that they put in that crap, and you just think, where the hell? And of course now, did we talk about this before Christmas that apparently Discovery Klingons now they're not primary universe Klingons, they're an alternate. I think we did talk about it, didn't we? Did we
Yeah.
talk about it?
Discovery's
we
just been
did talk about
non-canon
that.
now, isn't it?
Apparently, this has come from Paramount. It's come from
Yeah.
them.
From the last Lower Decks. Sorry, we did talk about that.
I went out and bought season 3 and 4 of Lower Decks
You
because
did?
of that. Yeah, I bought them. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm. But just to
I'm
go back to
curious
Doctor
now.
Who
It got
very quickly.
that drew me into Lower Decks. It drew me in.
okay.
But just to go back to Doctor Who very quickly.
Lower
on.
Decks
If you've
is
seen on
classed
the
as canon.
news,
Go on.
Bad Wolf Productions have just announced a skyrocket in their profits for last year,
How
like a
come?
huge increase.
In what? How?
Because they just made more money. Oddly enough, their turnover is down, but their profits are way higher. I think they went from declared profits of 7 million up to 10.5 million.
And
So
this
it's
is
like
just through.
nearly
Are
a
they
third.
affiliated with anything else apart from Doctor Who, or is this just all generating?
Yeah. Bad Wolf make loads of stuff.
So that's what I was
Discovery,
wondering. So it's
Witches,
not because of Doctor Who; it's because of other things they're working with.
No. And the fact their turnover's gone down, but their profits have gone up, does say that they have tightened their belt in areas.
Good. Yeah.
I've got some news.
Go on.
Go on.
I saw it today. I didn't read it, but I saw the headline for it. Are you ready for this? Are you both prepared?
Well, we'll try. Go on.
Well, we remember the sort of the scoops you've had the last couple of times, and
Okay.
I'm not holding
Get
out much
ready
hope.
for this, right? The Matrix, right?
Oh no, it's not going to be Will Smith. No, it can't be.
Oh, you
No.
know. Oh, you get spoiled.
No, stop that. Will Smith in
Yeah,
the Matrix.
apparently it's
Bollocks of that.
happening,
No, that can't happen. Why would Will Smith
know
be in
what,
the
right?
Matrix?
I loved the first film. It annoyed me because it was very similar to a story idea I'd had myself. The second film I thought was stupid, and I never even bothered to watch the third and fourth ones
You're joking.
because
you didn't see 3
the
and
second
4?
one was so bad.
Oh my
No.
god! Oh, you got to watch 3 and 4, especially
You've
3. I
got to
thought
watch
3.
3.
Oh,
You've
3's
got to
worth it.
I don't know. I just didn't like the idea in the first one. Like he's made out to be this massive god person, and Lawrence Fishburne's character is made to be like this huge guru boss that he runs. And then in the second series, you find out that they're two fucking nobodies on a submarine, being run by this huge, big fucking conglomerate of resistance. I just thought that whole concept was.
Oh, I'm
fucking
surprised.
stupid.
Oh no, you got to. I would give them a rewatch and try number 3.
What do you think, Will Smith as Neo?
No. Why would he be Neo? What, is it like a reboot or what?
I don't know.
As Neo, no. As an entirely different character, yeah, no problems. Will Smith's a very good actor.
I know, but yeah.
And what have you. But as if he's playing Neo, then no.
Well, 4 wasn't very good. 4 was my least favorite
No, it
Matrix movie. It
No,
was
it
just, this is why I'm saying that I think 3 is well worth it, especially for the Attack on Zion, which is really, really good.
definitely.
It's fantastic. It's really epic. 4 was just like, what the fuck,
Found
I'll have to have a look and see if I have them in my collection.
I found 2 quite boring, but 3 were a masterpiece. It was.
Well, 3 for the battles, it seems.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was. I mean, it was like it just goes on and on. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
If you like that sort of like special effects, and
I think the first one stood out.
I prefer 3 to 2 actually. I prefer 3 to 2. Most people prefer 2 to 3, but I just thought 3
Alright.
for because it was set in the real world and it was, I liked it a lot. Anyway, what have we got? We've got 6 for the focus of the week. So what else have we got to talk about? I heard something. Oh, The Last of Us is coming back for season 2 in April, which is I just read about that today. Which I love. The Last of Us. The first season was good at that. Silo's been renewed for season 3 and 4. I think I've already mentioned that in previous episodes.
How's that going? Have you started on it yet?
No, I'm waiting for the end of Silo season 2, and then I'm gonna binge
All right,
it.
just very quickly before we cut, then let's go through these the 25 most anticipated movies of 2025. The new Superman movie. Are we excited?
No, not really.
28 years later. Are we excited?
Yes.
I've still got to watch the first two.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Nah.
Yes.
First steps.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How to Train Your Dragon. Not really interested
No.
in that. Thunderbolts. I'm really looking forward to. Got to be honest.
Don't know anything about that.
I am looking forward to that.
Right.
As I said, just think Marvel's version of Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I'll give that.
I want to see it, but I don't think it's going to be any
Yeah, I'm
good.
all right. I'll watch that. Yeah.
New Snow White remake. Meh.
Oh, that's that one with what's her name? Rachel Zegler, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yes, right,
Another
yeah,
Jurassic Park film.
No, I'm bored of
Jurassic
Jurassic.
World
I'm bored
Rebirth.
of bored of Jurassic Park.
Well, ScarJo's in it, so I'm
Well,
definitely
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
watch it. Minecraft movie, not really
No,
for me.
couldn't give a shit. No.
Mission Impossible 8. Final
Yeah,
Reckoning.
I've never seen them.
yeah.
Right, I've got the first 7,
You
and I've
need
never
to
watched
watch
them.
Okay, so the first
They're
one
brilliant.
is great, but it will really, really, really fucking annoy you at the end. I guarantee you'll throw whatever you're holding at your TV set at the end. That's all
I
I'm
love
going to say.
them.
The second one, I think McHugh took over, completely lost the plot on what the fuck he was making, and it was a load of shit.
Okay.
The third one's great. The third one is really, really good.
So it's a bit like you with the
great.
Matrix,
The
where you got
fifth
to go
one's
to
great.
the.
The sixth
Okay,
one's
all right.
great.
All right.
The second one is a real non-starter, but the rest of them are just
The last
great.
the last one was superb.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, once they
I'll
start
watch
to
those.
tie them all together.
I'll watch those.
Yeah, well,
Right.
yeah, because they're all connected. That's the beauty of it.
Okay, returning TV shows. The Bear, never heard of it.
No,
No.
never heard of it.
The Rookie, I quite like that. I don't know if you watch it.
No,
but it's,
I've not seen it.
Never heard of it.
Nathan Fillion. If you like cop shows, it's very worth watching.
Okay.
Somebody's Monsters anthology, not as I thought the King Kong monster universe, but serial killer monsters. Reacher, new series of Reacher.
Yeah,
We'll have
definitely.
that.
Never saw that.
We'll have that. New
You
series
need
of
to
Stranger
watch that.
Things. Now, I watched season 1 of Stranger Things. I liked it. I didn't really get.
I
the
never
massive
got
hype it got
past
at the
season
time,
1. I never got past
but
season
I've
1.
never watched more. But I'm
seen
told
it.
to.
No, I've got to check that out actually.
Yeah, Slow Horses. Don't know it.
No, don't have that.
Only Murders in the Building. I've watched the first episode of that, and it might be something I get into, but I feel it's going to take about 5 episodes to get into
To
it.
get into it, yeah.
Season 3 of Silo.
Oh yeah, obviously.
So, assuming season 2 is good, we'll go with that. The White Lotus, another series of that, which, judging by the picture, has Walter Goggins in it, so I must watch that.
All right.
And then another series of, as you said, The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the list of new series, Daredevil Born Again. Really excited for that.
Yeah.
Alien Earth, I am looking forward to
Alien
that.
Earth, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit under the radar, this one, but a TV series of it. So that's one.
What,
So
Stephen
I don't
King's
know if
It?
it's based on. Yes, I don't know if it's based on Stephen King's It story of the Losers Club, or if it's a completely new story. I can't find anything on it other than it's being made and comes out next year.
All right.
An LA version of Suits, not interested. Night of the Seven Kingdoms is a third Game of Thrones series. I don't know
I
if
never
you
got
guys
into
are
Game of Thrones. Yeah, I never got into that.
American Primeval might be quite good. It's about the America becoming America, I believe.
Yeah.
Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So a new Spider-Man TV
Another
series.
Spider-Man film. Okay.
Yeah. An NCIS spin-off. Now that universe has to be the biggest fucking universe on the planet now, because you've now got you've got like 4 different NCIS series. Then you've got this new spin-off. You have Jag, Magnum PI, MacGyver, Hawaii 5-0 are all part of that same universe.
Yeah,
so that's it's quite a big thing.
I only like the old stuff. I don't like the remakes of all these shows.
I quite got
like
into
the
it. I haven't
like
finished
Magnum.
watching it, but I did quite get into it, to be fair.
I saw the crossover of Hawaii 5-0 Magnum was quite.
Yeah.
I
A
like.
series called El Turco, I'm assuming is about a drug lord, but I don't know. And I'm being horribly, what's the word? stereotypical there, just because it's called El Turco.
Okay.
And then Ironheart, which I quite fancy
Yeah,
to see
I'm
Ironheart.
fine.
I know a lot of people are saying no to that one, but I quite fancy to see that one. To be fair, I quite like the character in it was the only good thing in Wakanda Forever was her part. And
And
I like the idea that a young kid builds it. Just makes Tony Stark look like really a young kid made one, mate, in her shed. Just goes back. It just takes me back to that Obadiah Stang when he shouts at his people in the first one.
yeah.
When he's like, Tony Stark made this in a cave
A
with
kid
spare
that builds a
parts.
$1 billion float in a shed.
Yeah. I love that concept.
So
But
this
yeah,
is
so that's
obviously
it.
all.
So that's what's up
That's
and
all
coming for next year.
2025. Brilliant. So that's quite a few things to look forward to this year.
Yeah.
And then of course
I remember.
we've got Strange New Worlds and of course Section 31. But I've got to stop you both there because we've got less than a minute for we're going to reset the Skype. So we'll go now then into our focus of the week and maybe have a quick chat as well about Section 31 because it looks like shite. So we'll be right back into our focus of the week. Here we go.
It's the
Solar Sci-Fi.
focus of the week.
Right, and we're back. So we are back with a film which was very, very prominent in the year 1982. I remember, I think it was out in the December of 82 because I think I just reached 10 years old and I was the same age as Henry Thomas, who plays Elliot in this film. Very famous. It's not for everybody. I remember when Martin said, let's just get it out of the way, which I actually like this film a lot. And I watched it over Christmas. I haven't seen it for a long time. And it was a very, very positive film. It's very 80s, Amblin, and all that sort of stuff. And that is, of course, E.T. the Extra Terrestrial, which is a film which was huge when it came out. I remember going to the pictures. I think my mum took me, and I remember I used to get this. You remember these sort of like albums we used to get where you could actually like stick things in, like stickers and all sorts of. And I had all these ET memorabilia that I got some from the cinema, some from local like WX Smiths and that sort of stuff. And it was massive, and I loved it. And I even named one of my goldfish as a kid. I named him Elliot after Elliot from ET. That's how much I like that. So ET the Extraterrestrial. Malcolm, you recommended it. Tell us why you wanted to talk about this film today.
I hadn't seen it for a long while, and I remembered it. It was iconic when it came out. It's one of those films, that were kind of landmark and what have you. I remember the effects for E.T. himself were like nothing you'd seen before. They were so realistic. It was, aliens before that had always been guys wearing bubble wrap and tinsels and plastic suits and all of that. But this, finally, it looked like an actual alien. Which was quite good. Child actors are almost never good. The first couple of Harry Potter films are an example of kids who can't act. But the acting in this from all of the kid actors is very, very good.
I thought that Drew Barrymore and Henry Thomas was the main two, and obviously I can't remember the name of the actor who played the brother, but those three were very good. And isn't the guy, I can't think of his name, who played Tony Stark? Wasn't he one of the guys on the gang, the friendly gang of them? It looked like him. It looked like who's the actor who plays Tony Stark in?
Robert Downey Jr.
It's not Robert Downey Jr., isn't it? Was it? Because it looked like him. He looked like it from the. Obviously, I thought it was him as like a child actor, but it must have.
Yeah, because I think I looked it up while I was watching it. But no, it's definitely.
No, all right, that's my bad. It just looked very like him.
Special effects were good. I found the ship at the end was very similar to the Close Encounters ship.
Yes, it was.
Very, very close to it. But yeah, it was just a good storyline, a little bit of a feel-good film, standard thing, the mystery at the beginning, a little bit of joy, then sadness, and then the final happy ending. I read up and said that basically, unlike most films, this was filmed in chronological order. So so the child actors would get used to the ET film, and at the end, when they're saying goodbye, that was the last scene.
They really are going to.
So they're crying in tears and all that because they know the last, whatever it is, 6 weeks is all over and done now and finished. So it's actual reactions from the cast, which I think is quite clever for a director to think to do that.
to quickly say, well, I remember it was C. Thomas Howell who was playing this character. It
Oh
wasn't.
yeah.
Sorry, he just as a young actor, he just resembled Robert Downey. At least he did to me, which is why I thought it might have been him. Now that's interesting, as you say. Now, obviously, it's very young actors. Drew Barrymore was hilarious. The scene where she screams when she first sees E.T. in the bedroom was just so funny. I thought she was great. Henry Thomas, did you ever see his audition? It was absolutely fabulous. Where the guy just says, "Kid, you got the job," and he was just really good. It was a lot of nods to Star Wars, which I was quite surprised about, because obviously the music was by John Williams, who did Star Wars, but we saw somebody dressed up as Yoda in a Halloween costume. We saw Elliot playing with lots of Star Wars toys, and he had an AT-AT, he had Boba Fett, and I thought that was really cool as well as a Star Wars fan.
Well, also the obscure characters. It wasn't like
Luke Skywalker. Yeah, no, it was.
This is Snaggletooth. This is Stacker.
It was Hammerhead. Yeah, it was all the background characters, which I was quite surprised about, which I thought was good. I liked the actors in it. I love that time period. I like that Amblin kind of vibe, and they made some other films. It's just a film where you watch it until the end, and you just feel. It's just such a nice experience. It just feels like, that was really worth my 2 hours of my time, however long it is, in watching this.
I mean, I love the big reveal when Elliot comes home and Gertie's all kind of there. When they turn around, she's got makeup on and the wig and all that. I just thought that was a fantastic scene.
Have you heard yourselves?
What? What's wrong?
Absolutely. I had to sit through that the other day.
Do you really hate it? Do you really what's wrong with it?
I'm sorry.
Go on.
You know what I mean? When he went up on that bike, I'd have had a rocket launcher. I shot him down.
So did you never like it? Did you never get anything
I
from
liked it when I was a kid. I watched it. I've not seen it in 20 years, and I thought, this is just terrible. I can't bother with it.
Wow.
I was sat there and music kicks in and my emotions were meant to be going. I felt nothing.
Okay.
Did you used to like Alf when it was on?
Yeah,
I've got Alf. I've got all the Alfs. Alf is great.
Alf was superb.
Why is Alf better than E.T.?
Because Alf was sarcastic. He had a sense of humour.
Yeah,
cats. E.T. were just...
He was innocent. He was developing.
Pointing his finger. So.
E.T. is basically Home Alone on Earth 1. It is. You can put it however you want. Home Alone.
I wouldn't say Home Alone, but it's definitely that kind of kids against the government establishment sort of film. BMX bandits, that sort of thing.
So you think E.T. was like an alien child then?
Fly off. He makes local kids not fitting in and strike up this friendship, and they all get involved and government turn up, and Drew Barrymore is very good in it. I'm not knocking the actors. I sat through this and I thought, when's this finishing? I'm sorry, I know it's a classic and I'm not going to take its title away, but to me, I was watching Home Alone on Earth 1.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, really. I mean, it's kind of like, it's again, it's everybody interprets these things differently, but
maybe I'm too cynical. When I was about 14 when I saw that at the cinema.
Yeah.
So basically, you like your aliens to be aliens, busting out of chests and shooting people.
You don't like a lot of horror. You don't like horror.
I did when I saw it back in the 80s. I thought it was an amazing film. But it was like me and Michael a couple of months ago. We did Close Encounters, right?
That's right.
And that was out at the same time round.
It's about 3 or 4 years before, but yeah.
And when I watched Close Encounters, I just thought it was dated. I know everybody says it's like Jaws. They all gone up. Jaws.
Do you like Jaws? Do you like Jaws?
Yeah, I do like Jaws, but it's just I've moved on.
Yeah, but don't you sort of like? Are they iconic for what they were?
Watching fucking Elliot flying over the moon. It just I didn't get nothing from
when you go to Universal Studios again. I don't know if it's still there. I imagine it's not, but there was the ET ride. So you go in, and unlike a lot of rides, you give your name as you go in, and all that. And they give you a badge with a barcode on it, and then you sit, and your chair's like a bike. You're all in the bikes with the baskets, all loads of you in a row, and all that. And I'm telling you, this thing shifts through the forest. It's like a forest scene with all the mist and all the smells and all that. And there's all flash torch lights and people running after you and all this, and you're fucking going through it. And then just as it looks like you're going to get caught as you're going through this forest, the thing comes out, and the bike takes off up into the air, and then when you finish and you drop the alien off, the reason you gave your name is this thing reads the barcode, and the alien families that are there are all like, "Thank you, Malcolm. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Martin." It's just brilliant.
On a serious note, I'm not knocking the film. The film is a classic. I don't deny that. I think over years there's been so many.
Are you saying it's because it's been so reinterpreted and kind of replicated in different?
For me, after this, the next version of this was Mac and Me.
I never saw that.
Which I've never seen.
Yeah,
I never saw that.
It's basically this, and they melt. I think I saw everything. I saw most of them, and it stands out on its own. It does. And I'm glad they never made a sequel. I think
I'm surprised they never made a sequel.
But I'm glad. Again, I'm glad.
I'm glad too.
The sequel would have been awesome.
It had the Spielberg, that colouring with the cinematography. It's a beautiful film, but I've not seen it in 20 years, and I watched it for this, and it just didn't do anything for me. I mean, all right. I mean, I watched it all. I wasn't in a rush to turn it off, but I thought, it's just not doing. It's just.
I think the bit is you could always put yourself in the place of Elliot. It's like, what would you do if you found the alien? Would you have helped here? Would you? You know what I mean? You kind of. I think that's why it was so
not
long.
for me.
Kids are looking at it thinking, I wish I could do that.
If that had have happened to me, I'd have wanted to be Last Starfighter.
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
I mean, if you want to hang about the lizard thing with the big weird head, fair enough, fly around on a bike. Me, I want to be a Last Starfighter. Now, when I watched that, I get what you got with 18.
Yeah. Okay.
I do. Honestly, when I watched that, I feel the magic in that. But
I mean,
I was expecting
magical
to
film,
feel
but it's
that.
good. My favourite line in the film is when they get blown up and the guy says, "How many starfighters are left, including you?" Yeah, one. I just thought that was genius. But then they unravelled the whole thing by knowing that just one starfighter can take any fleet out with that one button. So why did they even need thousands of them? Where did that guy even get? If your starfighters can do that with one touch of a button and you've got a fleet of them, how did that guy get so fucking powerful?
Yeah.
Because you could have always just flown one ship in, hit that one button, taken everything out of the game, job done.
I get it. As a kid, you got cinema, you watch ET. As an 8-year-old kid, it's going to be amazing. Because I'm 57 now, I think I was about 14 when I saw this at the cinema at the ABC. And I think I was just sort of leaving that age.
Yeah, you passed
You
the
know what I
imprint
mean?
age
I
of
was becoming a
crap.
teenager, and my mindset were, and I loved it as a science fiction film. I think it's good, but as an eight, I never got to feel the magic of that because I was just.
All I can imagine now is Martin with his cigarette pack underneath his t-shirt and his hand down the blouse of the girl next to him, completely ignoring the film. And that's why he doesn't like it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything on that perspective. But
no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to knock it. I respect what you both say. I do. And I understand what you're saying. It's a beautiful film, but it just didn't bring the inner child out. You know what I mean? It didn't do it. I watched Back to the Future. It brings that out. This ET it's like a blank slate for me. I've got it on 4K. I've got the bloody film, and I watched it. I bought it a few years. I watched it first time on Sunday for this, but I got nothing out of it. I'm really, honestly, it's
I will say this. Sometimes certain films, they sort of stay with you, and other
Yeah.
films they do just disappear from your radar,
Yes,
based
for
on
me it did.
I,
Yeah,
I
life
must say that
experiences.
I've got to admire your commitment to the podcast to go out and buy a 4K copy of a film you don't like, just so you can watch it to review it.
What, like 4 years later? Yeah, that's
actually,
it.
it might be Blu-ray. It could be Blu-ray. But I bought it a few years ago. I think I got it in a sale. I picked it up, and it's like the other Spielberg films that came out at that time. There were a lot of sort of like there were gods, but
Formulaic, I think's the word you're looking for.
yeah, and but this it's like if I watched Star Wars, like the original, I was a kid. Parents took me to see that the first Star Wars film at the Odeon. That when I watched that that triggers that inside me.
No,
That
I
that's that
think it's because
feeling.
it's more of a bit more soppy, sentimental sort of aspect. It's
That's
not
good.
kind of, I don't know. It's not. That's not the right phrase because I liked it. I don't want it to sound like it's a criticism, but it's maybe it's because it's more family orientated than perhaps I don't know.
You
I'm
might
trying to
have
think
a good point
I'm
there.
trying to think of a film where I really used to like it, and now I can't really put myself over to watch it again. I'm just trying to think of something like that because obviously things like Back to the Future, I can always watch that. I can always watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Ferris
I
Bueller's Day
got Ferris
Off,
Bueller's Day Off. Um,
uh,
Trading
Trading
Places.
Places.
Yeah, we both said at the same time. You know, you can watch that forever. And,
Yeah,
Weekend at Bernie's is one of my favorite. I love
yeah,
Weekend at Bernie's.
definitely.
I've still never seen those.
Oh man,
Brilliant,
Weekend at Bernie's.
brilliant.
Hi Bernie. You got to watch Weekend at Bernie's. That's
Absolutely
brilliant. But
superb.
then again, well, Mannequin's not a good film I like. But
I like
again,
Mannequin, and the
I
second
like
one
Mannequin.
is
Second one's not very good, but first Mannequin's good.
I love Mannequin. I
Kim
thought it was
Cattrall's in
good.
it. And she looks very nice. In that.
But what? Yeah, but again, watching Mannequin brings that out in you, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's got the 80s vibe though. E.T. has
That's
got
what I
also
mean.
got the.
But
But
E.T.
why is it that E.T.'s got
I
that wonderful
don't know. It's not big
nostalgia?
enough
I mean,
for me.
do you know what? The first time I even heard of Halloween was when I watched E.T. because Halloween at the time in the UK really wasn't prominent when I was a kid.
Oh, well.
And they were going for. I thought, well, are they all dressed up? And of course, I realised that Halloween was out. I mean, obviously, I didn't see the Halloween films because I was a bit young to see the Halloween films. And this film had Halloween in it, and I thought that was really interesting. But I mean, again, it's the 80s vibe. It's like Poltergeist, is another 80s movie. I like Poltergeist.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
all
like
these 80s movies, but
But I'm just thinking, have you ever stuck for somebody to cosplay out? You could always do Donald Pleasance in, as the Doctor in Halloween. Just
oh,
I think you'd be able to pull it off really well, Martin. Just just a fucking just a big overcoat and just keep telling everybody, just run and keep telling them, what have you done? You can't let him out. It'd just be genius.
I think on this note, Malcolm might be like, goodbye, Malcolm. No, but
It's like Halloween. It's like Friday the 13th. I was like I saw that on VHS. I was like 12 when I saw that.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched that in 30 years.
Yeah, I watched it for first one, and that would say, and then all the others that have followed, like I think we've had so much saturation on one
Yeah,
thing.
I would only watch the first. It's
That-
like
I
Friday.
think-
What's it called? Freddy Krueger and I'm in Elm Street. I mean, I like the first one or two or three, but
I think I saw first one, but
I like the first one and the third one of Nightmare on Elm Street. The third one's quite good, but
Yeah,
the rest
that's
of them.
I mean,
bad.
I've not gone any further than that. I've got them, but I've not seen them. I don't think. I
Dream
think
Warriors. But the thing is with ET, I think at the time I feel at the time, but it's I went with friends to see it. I think like if you go with your parents, and I think it increases that love for the film. You know what I mean? I saw Close Encounters with my family, and so you've got that memory of it, but ET, it's just not there for me. Sorry, it's a good film. I'm not gonna say it's terrible. It is a bloody good film, don't get me wrong, and to be honest, the story for it were quite unique at the time,
yeah.
and I love the thing of the kid meeting the alien and now they find each other. But I was always surprised there was never a sequel. I don't want one. But
Do you think it would ever be
they
remade?
said
I always ask this in most episodes, would it ever be remade, do you think? Either of you, what do you think?
no, I don't think.
I think you're not hiding for nothing with this. The trouble with remakes, I don't know if I've said this to you before, is they do like to remake films that were really successful. So you already people what
Yeah.
they aim for is to remake films that were shit and make them better, which is what Dirty Rotten Scoundrels was. Michael Caine went up to Frank Oz and said, "Frank, why the fuck would you make a film that bombed?" And he goes, "Why would I remake a film that did really well?" And that was it. So they made Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, and
But
it was
then-
a huge success.
Also, you get the films where they use the original idea and kind of turn it on its head. And although it wasn't quite turned on its head, I'm a big fan of the remake of The Fly. I like the original Fly from the 50s, late 50s.
Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum, yeah.
But the
yeah.
Jeff Goldblum 80s one, to me, it's in my top 10. I absolutely love that film. I think it's fantastic. I just love the whole thing.
More so for Gina Davis.
One
but-
film-
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. That's another...
There is a film that sort of brings me back to that sort of nostalgia, like it. I was a big fan of Cocoon, the first one.
Of what?
I
Cocoon!
don't think I
Cocoon.
watched it.
Cocoon's good, yeah. And it made a sequel. The
Steve-
sequel wasn't as
Steve
good.
Guttenberg.
Steve Guttenberg from
Again,
Police Academy.
I don't think I ever watched it, to be fair. Cocoon.
And yeah,
it just
got
did,
that.
it's one of those films that didn't really
That-
appeal to me.
No, it's worth
That
the watch.
brings
It's worth the
that
watch.
out. I don't know.
Cocoon's
just
good.
don't-
Yeah, I like Cocoon. We haven't reviewed that one. That's another one worth checking out. I wasn't so mad on the sequel when they came back, but the first one was good. Again, I don't like sequels all the time. Sometimes it taints the original.
No, but that was the time when they didn't really milk sequels, did they?
No, they only made one. I mean, Poltergeist
Yeah.
made about 3, didn't
You
they?
know,
And then
I think E.T. as a single movie is probably best where it is. Yeah, I do, because it's like, you should don't destroy it by making a remake on it. E.T. is what it is, and just leave
and they
it.
can't remake Back to the Future because Robert
No.
Zemeckis has put a clause
No.
where they can't do it while he's alive. I think he said something like that, which is really
Just
clever.
leave it alone.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen the cartoon series of Back to the Future.
I heard. Oh, yeah, I've never seen it, but I
It's
know of it.
terrible, I've seen it.
See, we don't get a lot of them over here, but
No.
in America land, they make a frightening number of TV series and films into cartoon versions.
Ghostbusters
Just
was another
seem
one.
to get them here.
Ghostbusters was another one.
Yeah. You had like the original
And in black.
Ghostbusters, then the real Ghostbusters.
Real Ghostbusters.
and all that, Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, look, I mean, at this point, let's just rate it out of 10. I will rate it, I think, partly because of sentimentality of seeing it. I'm going to give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's a really good film. I don't think I'd watch it too often, but I watched it again for the first time for a long time, and I really enjoyed it, so I'll give it an 8. Malcolm?
Yeah, it's not a film that I'm going to watch over and over and over again. It's not like when you're continually putting it in, but obviously one day down the line when we have grandkids, hopefully, you're definitely going to sit down and watch
Yeah.
them. So I'm going to give it a 7. I think.
Okay, fair enough. Martin?
6.
All right, that's fair enough.
No, higher than I thought.
Yeah. And the obvious question, obviously, Martin's already asked is this: would you have it in your collection? Martin?
Yeah, you've got to.
You already have.
Yeah, you've got to. Yeah,
Malcolm.
You've got to. Yeah.
I already do.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for it. So, like I said, it's an interesting film. I can see both your perspectives, and I can understand, Martin, why. Yeah, and I think we've all sort of conceded that it's a good film, but you can't watch it too often. It's definitely got to,
Yeah.
blow the dust off it the next time it's ready to be watched again. kind of thing.
That's interesting because, like with Last Starfighter or all the other films we've mentioned, you can go back to them every year.
Yeah.
And they're all from more or less the same time frame. And
So, I mean, these are like Amblin-esque, isn't it? Because Goonies was
but
another one.
E.T., I'd probably watch it every 10 years.
But if
not
the new
something I jump
Star
back
Wars, the new Star Wars Skeleton Crew, I know you've not seen it fully yet, but it has got that Goonies Amblin vibe about it. So it makes
Yes,
me
it
wonder
has.
that when you watch
Yeah.
the end of that, whether it will put you off from watching it again in the future for a long time. You know what I mean? From the
No,
episodes you've
I-
seen so far, would you think you would watch it again at some point?
I do. When I first episode at Skeleton Crew, I got the Goonies vibe within
Yeah.
a matter of minutes.
Yeah. It's definitely that kind of kids.
I could
shenanigans
watch
going on.
that once a year. I wouldn't have a problem with it. No.
I mean, obviously we're not reviewing yet, but I mean, I've seen 6 episodes. I think Marcy, you've seen 4.
I'm going to watch him tonight.
How
I've
many
seen them all so far.
Yeah, I've seen 6 out of 6, and there's only 2 more. I'm really enjoying
Oh,
it. I think it's a
very
different take, but it's in Star Wars. It feels like Star Wars. It's not a major thing with like the Empire coming back or anything. Well, not so far, but it's a fun Star Wars universe TV show, family friendly, and I think it works very, very well. So I hope I hope they don't mess it up with the last 2, which they might do. But
No.
I think they're gonna pull it off. I think it's gonna work. Hopefully, so fingers crossed. Before I go, I've changed the viewing layout so it's us 3 on screen together. Do you prefer it like this, or do you prefer it so when we talk, it just goes to each other? Any preference, or should we just?
All together, because then
We'll leave it on like this for now.
So when I'm not talking, I'm doing other stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll leave it. I mean, let's just sort of like because I left it on from last week. So before Christmas, I think we're mucking about with the YouTube short thing where I put you all above each other when I was doing that thing.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it on for now, but we'll obviously just see how it goes. So that's it for this week. So we're going to be back in a couple of weeks. We're either going to be reviewing Skeleton Crew or what's the one that you keep saying, Martin? I can't remember.
Right now.
That will not go in my head. I think what we're trying to do tonight, I'm going to try to add this, but if it's not there, it's because of copyright with YouTube. But I just want to add a little bit of Henry Thomas at the end of his audition for the role of Elliot, where it goes down very well because he just did such a phenomenal thing. I've got the feeling that it won't be able to be shared because YouTube are very funny about certain things. So if it just fades out to the end credits as usual, then that's why it is. So that's a shame about that. So thank you guys. It's been a very good show. Thank you for coming back.
Section 31. Section 31.
Oh yeah. Actually, there's 2 things actually before we finish. First of all, I know it's the wrong way around, but who gives a shit? Section 31, one of the actors who's in it says he thinks that it's not going to be very good, and Star Trek fans are going to think, what? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And it's like,
That's encouraging.
I know. And
that's his career finished.
He's the guy that was in EastEnders, I think, at some point. But apparently he's a Star Trek fan. He's like, Star Trek fans are not going to like this because it's not Star Trek. He didn't say that, but that's what he intimated with the way he said that. Are you two as very underwhelmed as...
It looks like a pile of shit.
It looks like the worst thing. It looks like even worse than Discovery Season 1. It looks terrible.
I'm not a big fan of Michelle Yeoh and her character in this Philippa Giorgio character's awful. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't know where this fits in. I don't get it at all. It does not look good.
It looks absolutely awful.
It's going to be shit. It's going to be shit. And we're going to watch it. And we're going to moan about it. And it's going to be shit.
And we're going to review it as well.
And then we're going to ask the big question.
We did not hold out much hope for Skeleton Crew, and we're enjoying that. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Just but the chances of this thing.
Oh no!
Even shiny.
No. This is reminds me of that great quote from Christine when he's trying to build up the car, and the guy in the place where he's being looked after, he says, "You can't polish a turd." And I always got that phrase.
Well, there might be just a bit of a gleam at the end of it. There could be.
What? What's the gleam?
I don't know. I've not seen it yet. Let's watch it first.
There's going to be nothing. Go on, Malcolm.
The thing about that
we should go in. We should go in
the quote there about polishing a turd that kind of turns out in his head is the car then comes back and kills that guy.
So you're basically I'm going to be the hypocrite. It's like, so maybe I'm going to.
Exactly.
Just there is a chance we could be wrong, but I think it's going to be bad. But
I know it's going to be. There's nothing. There is nothing. No, you can't be open-minded with this. You saw the trailer?
And,
trailer was terrible.
Yeah, and obviously we've seen the new Superman trailer.
What century is this going to be set?
It's going to be set because it's going to be before Rachel Garrett took over the Enterprise C. So it'll be around about the 2340s, about 40 years after Kirk.
Right.
Something like that. In between original movies and Next Generation. Because Rachel Garrett's in it.
Are they planning? Is this going to be like a pilot episode?
No, originally it was going to be like a TV show.
So
then it's going to be like because of Michelle Yeoh, such a big star. They just decided to make this quirky TV movie thing. But they're also using an experiment to see whether TV movies might work.
If it's successful, it will be a TV series. If it takes off and everyone loves it,
It will not take off.
definitely
It
gonna
will
be a
not
TV.
take off. It will be.
If it did, they would make it.
It-
It's
it-
always
it-
the Nev. It's always the Nev.
If it takes off, it'll be like a Boeing 747 with like super glued tires on the runway kind of thing. It will not take off. It will be super glued to the ground. It will not take off anyway. It will just fizzle out and burn and turn into a big pile of shit. Okay, that's my reference. Now,
And obviously, we other trailers. We got Superman as well.
yeah, I'm underwhelmed with that. But then I don't mind Superman, but I'm really a Christopher Reeve Superman fan. I've not really been into most of the newer Super. I know that Marty's quite a big
I'm
fan.
sat on fence with Superman.
I thought you
I've got
were
to
a mega
admit, I
fan.
was very impressed with the Superman and Lois.
Oh yeah.
I've only ever seen the
I
first.
saw some of that. I quite
two-
enjoyed that. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that. Yeah, I saw some of that. I
very
didn't see it
good.
all. Quick story before I finish. It was over Christmas, and it was funny because I felt ill, and my daughter works at B&M, and basically it's far enough away that I've had to pick her up. She's just doing like a Christmas job, and I was waiting for her with my wife, and we were waiting near the cash registers, and this guy came up, and he said, "Do you work here? Are you security?" I said, "No." And then he goes to these other two guys who work there, and he said, "Look at me, look at me." And he holds his stomach, and he look. It looks like I'm shoplifting. You know what I've got under here? And these two guys look confused. He says, "You know what I've got? I've got a hernia." And he showed this like gut sticking out with this lump, and he's pretending to like act like he was stealing something. And I think he was trying to think it was a humorous, and then all gonna laugh at him. And they looked at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then he walked outside and said, "Dick face" to the guy. It was so surreal because he thought this is really funny. He was going to like make these people laugh, and everybody looked at him like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And it was just the way that he insulted them because they didn't find him funny. I just thought it was really funny. It's hard. It doesn't come across as funny to explain it to you two, but when you were there, it was one of those surreal kind of like trigger happy TV sort of moments where it would be really funny. It was just so funny that it was such an epic fail. Any quick Christmas stories from either of you before we finish?
No,
because
can we go
if
now?
your daughter works at B&M. Can I assume you've got all the Doctor Who character options figures that are so hard to get hold of?
B&M.
Yeah, B&M.
Do you know? There's no B&Ms in London.
No.
Is
No,
it-
I found one. I've actually found one. There's one in Wood Green. Because every time they release them bloody Doctor Who figures, I miss out on them.
I didn't know they were
sell out in
there.
like 2 minutes. Oh my god! You go on eBay. People go in, buy the whole entire shelf
Flip
lot, and then
them,
start
yeah.
selling them for
Yeah.
like 300 quid.
Well, I've not seen anything that I like.
But there is one in London. There's a B&M in Wood Green.
Okay, well there we go. We're not actually getting any royalties from B&M, so we're not saying but if B&M wants to supply us with any money as a sort of free advertising,
If
then
like
you know
to
where we
send
are.
all your Doctor Who figures, I will give
Yeah,
you my
contact
address.
me at Solar One Pod on Twitter or X or whatever, and you will be happy to.
How's your Starfleet phaser Nerf rifle that you
Oh, it's
acquired?
going very well. You should get one that's very good.
I'm not sure I can justify that.
I ain't got time to show because I've got. Oh, do you want to say it?
Go on.
It's the little one. It's the little Mark II phaser
Oh,
handheld. Is that a
oh,
Go
Nerf
on then.
gun as well?
We got 4 minutes, and I like Malcolm's V laser pistol, which I thought was really cool. That was the one I liked. It was a V. I remember you said it ages ago, and I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. Well, let's wait for Martin now, and obviously here he comes. I can see his silhouette in the background there. He looks like
See, I
he's.
do quite want one of these, but there's no way I'm paying 58 quid for it.
No, but you could 3D print a lot of stuff these days, can't you? I know you can't 3D print that, but well, you might be able to.
I mean, you can if somebody's done the files for it.
I know. I want to get a new 3D printer at some point.
Well, this
Oh.
is. That's it.
Oh yeah, I saw it for a second.
You need to turn your background off.
So yeah, that's obviously Next Generation movies, isn't it? Is it the one from the First Contact?
Hang on, I'll turn.
3 minutes 14 left, by the way.
Yes,
Thanks.
if movies have told me anything, you can defuse an entire bomb in that time.
There you
There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go. That's it. Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm looking forward to seeing it when it's been repainted, to
Oh,
be fair.
he's just dropped a bit out of it then.
Yeah, well, you load them all up into there. I put the batteries here. I'm getting it painted up. But you want to see the pistol?
Go for
Yeah,
it.
is that a Nerf gun as well, or is that just a...
Yeah. So what
Oh,
you
it does
do?
sound as well. Oh, it looks like a
Yeah,
one-shot,
that's
though.
it. Yeah.
So it
So
actually
what you
shoots
do?
out little things then.
Yeah. So you click it like that, right? Put the dart in,
And
and
then you can phaser someone, literally. Oh,
there you
cool.
go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Where did you get that from? Was that on eBay or something?
No, you're not going to believe this.
Go on.
Sports Direct.
Sports Direct. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're selling loads of science fiction stuff.
Why would Sports Direct sell sci-fi stuff? They couldn't be more opposed, couldn't they, from their...
I don't know, I might nip in and have a little Lukey Luke tomorrow.
I'm being serious. They're selling loads of sci-fi stuff. Doctor Who, Star Trek. I do not know why, but they're selling all this. Yeah.
Brilliant. Nice one. All right,
It's all
guys.
a bit weird, and they're
Sounds
cheap,
good.
like 20 times cheaper than Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's pricey apparently, that place, even though I'm not against it, but yeah. It's
So
a bit
I
pricey.
paid about 50 quid for all that. That were retailing at 150 quid when they brought them out.
Wow. Well, anyway, that's really cool, guys. Well, anyway, Happy New Year to you both. Thank you for coming back this year. So we'll be back in the next couple of weeks with those two options. So obviously, we're not sure. I'll try and leave with
What
this
were the
Henry
options?
Thomas thing. So it's going to be either Fright Night or Skeleton Crew Season 1 review. So if that's okay
Yes.
with you. And obviously, if you get a chance to watch that, Malcolm, that'd be great. Fright Night. Worth a watch. Worth a watch. All right, guys. We'll see you next time on the Solo One
Cool.
Sci-Fi Podcast. Live long and prosper.
Prospect.
Prosper.
And there's a knock on your door, and a man comes in, a grown man, not your brother. And he's from NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. And he has found out that you have a creature. He doesn't know exactly what, he has found out you have a creature in your closet. A creature that he's been looking for a long time. And you've had this creature now for 3 or 4 weeks. You become best friends with it, and he wants to take the creature away. And he's come with a search warrant, and he's come with permission to take the creature away. And you're not going to let him. Okay? Okay, okay.
Now, young man, I understand that you have an alien somewhere in this house. Is that true? Well, is it true? Is there an alien in this house?
Yes, sir.
Well, as you know, I am from the government. I'm part of the United States government, and I am empowered to take that alien with me.
But you can't take him away. He's mine.
Well, but the government is bigger than you are, Elliot. And I have all the authority to take him, and I gotta tell you, I'm gonna take him.
You can't take him.
Well, I'm afraid I have to, son.
You can't take him away. He's mine.
But it's not my choice. The president asked me to come here and get him.
I don't care what the president says. He's my best friend. And you can't take him away.
Well, it's real possible, Elliot, that he'll come back and you can have him again. But we just want to talk to him and see where he came from and try to find out about other planets. And he probably is the key to a lot of things that we have to know.
But how do I know you're going to bring him back?
Well, I'm afraid, son, I can't guarantee it.
I think he's afraid of you.
Well, that may be true, but the government tells me what to do, and I just follow their orders.
Well, he's mine, and he lives with me, and he likes me. And he wants to stay here. He likes it here.
Well, we wouldn't hurt him or anything. All we want to do is talk to him.
But I don't want you to take him away.
You know, I've had to talk to your mom about it, and she knows that the government has the right to do it.
And who told you all this?
Well, we learned about it. We know that he's somewhere around here. I mean, I do have a search warrant. I could look around the house.
Tell me to keep the alien. Right. Tell me to keep.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you let me talk to him for 5 minutes, I'll tell my boss that you can keep him. Would that be okay with you, if I could just talk to him for 5 minutes? Would you feel better then? Would you be happy if you could keep him if all I had to do was talk to him for 5 minutes? That might make your whole day, huh? Might make your whole life, huh? And then he'd be your friend forever. And I wouldn't take him away. Okay, Elliot.
Okay, kid, you got the job.